Hi, I'm April PVD, and I'm here to talk to you about being single and sober. Two things that seem to not have a lot in common, but they really do. The path to both of them, the ways to deal with them are very similar, and it can lead to a happier, better you. Good morning. I woke up this morning and I realized that I am very lucky. First of all, I woke up to a tornado, the difference, tornado warning. And I looked outside and there was a lot of wind and rain. But, yeah, no tornado. Well, it might have been, but it didn't hit me. I'm on the top floor of the building, where I would go. Shout out to people who have survived tornadoes. Yesterday, I like to randomly text old friends. Or friends. Oh, I know what happened. I passed a building where someone who used to live here used to live, and was someone Maja was particularly fond of. And Maja, the door was open, and Maja was trying to go in, and I took a picture of her and sent it to the friend that used to live there and said, she still remembers you. And we got to talking, and she called right when I was ready to do my cardio. And we talked and talked. I mean, I'm retired, so even if I'm planning to do something, I can stop long enough to talk to someone. Oh, did I get knocked off? Or did I forget to put it back on? And at the end of at one point during our conversation, we have been talking for a while, she got interrupted and said, let me call you back in a few minutes. And I said, let me text you when I'm finished, because I need to go and do my cardio. And my idea was that I would text her. If she was free, then we could continue our conversation. It wasn't anything life-threatening. It was really wonderful talk. Just sometimes there are people that you can talk to about anything, and sometimes you ramble and go on, and it's nice. Living single, sober, and small. That's what it should be. Living single, sober, and small. I've been calling it single, sober, and living small. But maybe living single, sober, and small. I'm still trying to find that right sweet point. Living single, sober, and small. You do have to, unfortunately, cut back on some interactions and relationships. There were some people that I would talk to, and they were really just a drain. And so I had this coffee is so good. I'm just always pleased with it. When I get that right sweet spot, it's the right amount of beans to water to half and half ratio and heat. It's just at the right. So I used to have tons and tons of friends, and at some point I had to let a lot of them go. I used to help people with getting tickets. I knew my acumen on the railroad. But then I realized that those people only accessed me when they needed to go on the railroad. And then there were people who just wanted to party. one friend who always wanted you to bail them out. So anyway, but this wasn't one of these friends. This was someone who's good to talk to. She's got good energy. And my brother just texted. You know, the whole dynamic of siblings is so weird because it's nothing under your control. I'm gonna get back to my other subject, I promise. But there are people who have a certain, like, I know someone who's an only child, and I think that is so crazy to just have no siblings. They probably have cousins and stuff that they relate to, but no brother or sister. I have 3 sisters and a brother, and that's the other thing is I always say you only need one brother. And he picked on me. He was an older brother. But there are people who have no brothers, and people who have no sisters. And so anyway, that's weird, but it's just good to hear from my brother. And so this particular friend, we had a nice conversation, and then I got on my cardio, and then I recorded. I mean, by the time I finished my cardio, I was getting ready to edit a video I had earlier gone into Rec on my standalone headset because I wanted to compare the quality of, I'm trying to explain VR, and I'm trying to break it down into terms that make sense and compare it. Sometimes I use my standalone headset. There are some particular games like my cardio, the games I do exercise that's connected to my elliptical. You can only use that with the standalone headset because it has to be connected to the Bluetooth, and I don't think there's any way to do it to the PC, but it's good enough and it does what it needs to do. The main reason for connecting the headset, the VR headset, to the PC, hence the term PC VR, is to get better graphics, especially games that are more intensive. Sometimes the files are so big, so you're basically using the headset as a monitor, but the computer is doing most of the work, running the graphics and everything. So I wanted to compare 2 games, one on the headset, and I've been playing Rec Room earlier, and then I had to stop because I wanted to go and play Rec Room on the PC VR, but it turned out that 2 things happened. One is that the Rec Room I usually use was on the other account, on other Steam account, and this is another thing that's difficult for being a VR player, is that there's so many intricate pieces and not everyone can follow like I do. I also feel really sorry for a lot of parents who are not technical and their kids might want to do all this other stuff. So the software, I had to switch over to my other account, which is really easy on Steam. You just click a couple of buttons, and I'm on my other account. I had to make 2 accounts. Well, we won't get into that. Maybe I should do a breakdown of my whole set and my things one day. But anyway, so then when I did switch over to the other account, it turned out that Rec Room needed to be updated. Okay, so while I'm updating Rec Room, and I think that's when I got into the conversation and I started doing other things, and then when I finished my cardio, because I like to do my cardio towards the early part of as early as possible, because I think it speeds up my metabolism, and in my head I think, oh, if I do my cardio earlier, I will burn more calories for the rest of the day. So I did my cardio, and then I realized it was almost 6:30. That meant that at 7 o'clock I had to I had already done my cardio. Anyways, I realized by the time it was time to call her back, it was time for me to do my podcast. I do a Perry Mason podcast with my sister Denise. It's so wonderful. I enjoy it so much. We did episode 28 last night, and we are still fine-tuning some of the stuff about it, and she's chipping in really great stuff. And we do it on Zoom, and I do all the recording. She does the show notes, which is really great. I do the screenshots from the show, and I put up the show notes on our website, and then I edit everything. And one of the things I like to do is put clips in the show. In the beginning, for the first 20 or so episodes, I would put the clips in as I was editing, and I would get to a point where I thought, oh, instead of me going, and she said, and they said, and this said, wouldn't it be nice if I just put the clip from the show in? But now what I do is I record the clips in advance and then drop them in, and it's raining. And then that way my sister knows what clips I'm adding, and we can then talk about the clip. And so I never got back to that friend, and it made me realize this morning when I woke up and I said, oh shoot, I didn't text her back. I'll have to get to her this afternoon. Well, I gotta wait, because I don't want to text somebody first thing in the morning. And oh my God, there's a woodpecker. There's a woodpecker. I wanna turn the I'm gonna capture it, but I'm almost afraid that if I do anything oh my God, it's so cute. Sorry. Oh wow. It just flew away. Why do I need to go anywhere? Why do I need to travel when my life right here is just so wonderful? So while I'm juggling all this technology, my podcast, my VR, my text my friends, I realize that I am living a really good life, and I'm living it at a time where technology is amazing. So yesterday when I was doing the 360 video, someone walked past me and said, oh wow, what technology is that? And somehow we got into a conversation, and I said, yes, it is really amazing what we have today, considering the fact that when I was little, I lived on a dirt road with no indoor plumbing and no telephone. I mean, literally the street in front of me was gravel. They've paved it since then, but we had to get our water out of the well. We were heating our home with wood that had to be chopped down, and the water, when we had hot water, it was boiled on a wood stove, one of those huge wood stoves with the circles. And now I live in a time when I can talk to people, I can talk to you, I can use AI, I have computers. We didn't even have phones. When they finally got phones, when I was around 16, it was a party line. So I live in a wonderful world, and I'm really enjoying it. So I just wanted to point that out. So today, right now, I'm gonna take my blood pressure. So I think I'm gonna start putting my daily, what I'm doing, what's going on, and put it up on Living Single, Sober, and Small. All right. The small part means that I don't spend a lot of money. In fact, last night I saw this cute trash can thingy on Amazon. Well, it was posted on Facebook, and then I clicked to it, and it was really cute. It hooked over the cabinet door, and it came with a little roll of trash bags, and I thought, oh, that would look nice. That would be something nice in my bathroom. $125 over $53. That's weird. I'm gonna do it one more time. Usually I do my blood pressure after we've gone on our walk, but it was raining and hurricane stuff, so we're gonna walk later on when it stops raining. So I ordered it. It was cute. It was only $14. That's one of the things that I'm doing, is I'm like satisfying my urge to spend money by spending just a tiny bit. But within 45 minutes, I realized I don't really need that. That's just another thing. And I canceled the order, and I'm very proud of myself. Oh, now it says 134 over 88. All right. We're bowling for blood pressure. Or I feel like I'm doing the slot machines. Let's try this one more time. Hi, puppy. No, sit. Sit, Mojo. Good girl. Let's try this one more time, and hopefully, maybe I should wait. That was kind of weird. One was too low. This is like the Three Bears. My breakfast this morning was my breakfast quiche. Came out perfect. I had half a bagel. No, it says 122 over 83. Maybe because I was talking. The other one was low. This thing is so crazy. I mean, it's not bad. It's still good, but I just want it to be in the green all the time. I don't want it to be in the red. I'm gonna wait a few minutes and try it again. So I make this breakfast quiche every week, and every 2 weeks I make 2 dozen, so it's enough for last week. I put some of it in the freezer and take 2 out every day, and then I cook it in my any day dish with pistachio bacon grease. That's all it can be described. I call it pistachio oil. But when I make bacon in my any day dish, I put the pistachios underneath the bacon, and then when it's done, I take the bacon grease and the pistachios and put it in a container, and then through the week I use that to when I reheat my breakfast quiche. And then I had one half of a spinach bagel with butter I mixed with a little bit of ranch dressing, the packet. I don't know why I got the idea to do it, but it is so good. So today was a good day. I'm getting ready to edit the Rec Room comparison podcast I made yesterday. Video I made yesterday. I need to put out posts on social media about episode 28 of the Case of the Podcast, the Caper and Camera. Some of the Perry Mason episodes I don't particularly like. I fast forward through them. This was one I always fast forward through, but when I'm doing them for the podcast, I actually come to enjoy them. And there were a few points on this episode that my sister saw that I didn't see, and that made it more enjoyable for me. I have to say I'm a little bit concerned about my blood pressure, but let me stop talking. 125/84. I don't know. It's not bad. And of course we're going to do our walk. And at 6 o'clock today, I have a UZA event in Zenith to farm mats for the Skyland. I have a really full day. And the nicest thing is most of the things I have to do don't cost any money. My freezer is full of food. I took out some sausage, mild Italian sausage, or sweet Italian sausage. So I'm going to make something with that. Also, I use some of that for Maja's treats. Tomorrow, I'm down to 2 breakfast quiche. So I have it's one meal. So tomorrow I think I will, or the next day I'll order the ingredients to make some more. I have bacon, so I don't need that. I just need a green pepper and some mushrooms. I have some onions, and I have the cheddar cheese. So I am going to do this one more time, and then I'm going to let it go. And I can't beat that lower one. 53? I mean, does that mean that my blood is even running? 122/87. Let's see. This is so crazy. I mean, yesterday it was 103/75. Today I've got 4 measurements. 125/53, 135, 34/88, 122/83. I'm gonna go with that one. So this is April PVD, living single, sober, and small. Life is good. I hope it's good for you. I love my view. So